Guys, welcome back to the Red Bull Battlegrounds Detroit. I'm Nathanius. With me is Hasuabs, and we've got our series just about ready. We fixed the technical issues that were going on, so everything's looking pretty good for this matchup. Still, we were kind of talking about this before. If you guys didn't notice, we have Catz versus a Zerg player, Oldmansum, but it's potentially not a ZVZ.
No, most likely not. I mean, Catz is going to play random. He's going to flip the coin, and maybe he gets Protoss, maybe he gets Terran, and worst case scenario for Oldmansum, he gets Zerg, because then he's playing his main race. And yeah, we will find out, right? I mean, everything is possible with Catz.
Yeah, Catz definitely, I mean, even if he doesn't get Zerg, because we know when he plays Zerg, he likes to be a little bit on the nuts side of the build orders and the strategies. But if he gets Terran or Protoss, like we could very easily see him still do something super crazy.
I had games against him in the ladder. It was disgusting. He was like hedge blocking me, and then a few roaches came out, and then I was like, all right, I killed the hedge, I killed the roaches, so it's time to expand. And then like 4 Mutalisks flying in. I was like, what? So I lost the game. I was checking the replay, and that guy played one base Mutalisk. I was like, what's wrong with him? What I'm doing here? Why is this guy playing on Europe?
Well, he's been, Catz is actually, with his crazy Zerg builds and strategies, he's actually Grandmaster in the Korean server. He's like pretty high up there too.
Yeah.
Like he's doing absolutely crazy builds.
You have to know it. Like when you meet Catz, you have to tell yourself, this guy is crazy. Like he is not going to play standard against you. He's going to try and trick you or try to cheese you with something crazy. So you really have to be careful and play with that in your mind when you face against Catz.
Yeah, you cannot go into a best of 3, best of 5 in a ladder game against Catz and expect him to play like anybody else normally would, because he simply put will not. So the countdown has begun. We're going to kick this series off. Sorry for the wait, guys, but I would tell you what matchup we're about to jump into, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, we will find out in 10 seconds. Don't worry.
It's going to be probably an interesting series, to say the least. Of course, Oldmansum, Diamond League player, as we've seen, Diamond Zerg. He's not, still it's pretty solid, but against a player like Catz, he's definitely an underdog. And we have loaded into the game, and we have the race of our player. So the first player in the top left position, the red Zerg, he is Oldmansum, playing for Infinity NA. And he doesn't know it yet, but he's up against the blue Protoss, representing Root Gaming. He is Catz.
Who is, by the way, a very good singer as well. Like whenever I tune in his stream, he's singing. I don't know if it's that good, but
it's like you get caught up in the moment. Some people, you can't help it.
Yeah. All right, so he's getting the pylon in front of his base on the high ground, though. So not a super fast. I mean, it could be still Nexus first. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
he's actually going for a 10 gate. Yeah, 10 gate. Catz is going crazy again. That's usually don't see 10 gates in PvZ, and I wonder if he's trying to go for a 4 gate or something like that. But the drone will scout, so I really like that by Oldmansum. I'm going for the very fast drone scout to find out which race his opponent is, and if there's any kind of early cheese coming towards him.
But I mean, my inner dirty cheeser would have loved to see a forge instead of a gateway. But
for Cannon Rush?
Well, yeah, I'm just a horrible person, so. But if this drone scout basically prevents that from being a risk, because if you're playing versus a Terran and you're a Zerg, you want to know that he's Terran so you can go hatch first, because it's like that's the build you do. Versus Protoss, hatch first isn't bad. Versus Zerg, it's not bad, but you want to know, especially if it's Protoss, because that's when cannon rushes become a really big threat. However, I feel like, honestly, most Zergs tend to drone scout on this map anyway against Protoss.
Yeah, some of them do. Some Zergs actually drone scout on every map, because they want to find out if they can hedge pool, like 2 hedges before pool, or if there is a forge, so they start up a bit differently.
The polls have gotten out of hand,
sorry.
You see what this is? This is a very Catz poll. Old school references here, but suffice it to say,
press 1.
I think one should definitely have the edge there.
Press 1. So we do have, I believe, Was it a hedge first? Sorry, I didn't. We were talking. But at least he does have the gas taken already, and so he will have rather early speed. And I think if he paid attention, he was noticing that the gateway was rather quick. Maybe he doesn't know exactly it was a 10 gate, but he could think of maybe 11 or 12 instead of a standard 13 gate.
I like Zealot Stalker Mothership Core Pressure because as you said, yeah, it was a hatchery first build, which means these queens are not out quite as fast. And just Zerglings, generally speaking, don't cut it against the mother. I mean, you know, a Zealot Mothership Core Stalker Pressure, because a Mothership Core can attack with impunity from the skies.
Yeah, that's true. But eventually, the Zerg will have enough units to clean up. Like, he shouldn't lose too much if he pays attention. Like, he should transfer the drones away. Good control on the Zerglings so far. Very nice control. Okay. He overstayed his welcome a little bit too long. He started up very well. He should have waited for the queens. First one popped in the main base. The second one has to be careful, though.
Yeah, well, the Zealot's trying to chase down the Zergling, which I do like, because this one queen on its own cannot defeat the Zealot and, well, excuse me, there's a Stalker in the Mothership Core. That Zealot just adds so much damage so quickly, and now the drones and the Natural are just getting wasted here.
No.
Another queen comes down from the main base, but I still think this is more than enough to fight all of this off.
Yeah, 4 more
another
Zerglings.
Stalker coming too?
Yeah, there's another Stalker. 4 more Zerglings are coming. He's sending the drones once more to the Natural. I think that's a mistake because he didn't clean up the units yet. The Mothership Core is very low and it will actually fall. Zealot gets away with 4 HP. Nice control there by Catz, pulling it back once more to regenerate a few shield points here. And yeah, 2 more drones will most likely fall.
I mean, a lot of Zerglings are on the production at 8. If he can get a surround on these Stalkers, maybe he can make a nice pick off or so. I mean, once the Stalkers get off creep, with the Zealot now that its shields are regenerated,
yeah, but
could still do a lot.
Speed is done in a few seconds, so
yeah.
If he focus fires correctly, he should be able to get at least 1 Stalker, maybe even both. And does he see the Stargate in the main base? Because Catz is still 1 base.
Yeah.
He didn't see the Stargate. He's flying in and he sees it. Wow, that's a huge scout for him.
Now he knows that there's an Oracle on the way. How many queens do we have on the map? You need 2 to defend a base, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he will make a spore.
Queen,
He even had 3 queens. So what is the unit loss tab? It's 850 loss for the Zerg and 650 for the Protoss. So I'd say it's rather even, but the Protoss has no nexus, no second nexus. Catz is still 1 base.
Yeah, he's going up 3
7.
gateways.
So interesting.
He's following this up with a Void Ray.
Come on, get a spore.
You know, normally Oracle into Void Ray is for a fast 3rd base, not for a delayed natural.
I can't even imagine Catz is going for 1 base all in with this. Like from what I see,
I would be surprised at this point. This Oracle, the queens are not in position. It's doing a lot more damage than I anticipated it doing.
Why there is no spore? That's so unfortunate for the Zerg player here. Because he had the scout, he could have made a spore. As you mentioned, the queens could have been in position and then not a single drone would have died to this Oracle. So that was yeah, really unfortunate for him, the losses here he took. And Catz is getting a second Nexus at minute 8:15.
Yeah, this is a very late expansion, but I feel like with the number of drones that he's killed, like it's hard to call him behind still.
Yeah, I would agree. 14 drones have been killed. So far, the Void Ray is cleaning up the Overlords.
Yeah, he's been supply blocked for a while now, too.
Yeah, and just once again, like these slight mistakes from Oldmansum so far have put him behind quite a bit already. Even though Catz is choosing a very, very weird opener, and I don't believe it should have worked that well. He won't get the Nexus. That's a little bit over-eager. Actually, Catz has force-fielded himself in, but it's actually getting very close with the Nexus here. Because Catz force-fielded himself into the
his own Nexus. He's going to try. It's so low. He does force to cancel.
All right, good job. That was worth it.
That was definitely worth it. Oldmansum trades a few lings out. Mitch picked that off. And he's going to get slightly supply blocked again.
Yeah, the Void Ray is 4 kills already. At least 3 Overlords, maybe 4. But I think it was 3 Overlords and maybe Zergling or something.
Well, that Queen is a little bit exposed too, outside on creep.
And it's low already on HP.
Yeah.
The Void Ray might be able to get it with the Oracle, definitely. It's easy peasy snack. There we go.
Yeah, good pick off there. Trying to delay that creep. So he doesn't have enough energy to use Envision to actually kill the Q tumors, but I think, yeah, this 3rd base, the Void Rays. He has still 20 seconds cooldown, I think, on his prismatic alignment, so he shouldn't be able to kill this hatchery, but he's going to mortally wound it.
Yeah, there's a Queen coming. Where's the second one? It's just walking down the main base, so 2 queens should be enough against this injured Void Ray, but the Oracle is still there. It's still enough. He does have a transfuse for the injured queen here. Should get a spore directly, though.
So the follow-up, he's still building some Void Rays back home. He's got a Warp Prism now. Oh, he's going to go for the ye old Sentry drop on the ramp. Try to force field him out of his main base or his natural.
How many gates does he have? 3 plus 2. It's going to be 5 gates. That's actually a good number. If you are able to force field the ramp, with 5 gates you can reinforce quickly enough to do a lot of damage to the Zerg main base. And yeah, there's no overlords on the map anymore because the Void Ray killed them. So Oldmansum has no idea that the Warp Prism is on the way, and I think you could be right. If he decides to go for the ramp, could do crucial damage here.
Yep. Even sees that some of the roaches are coming out too. Kills the queen. The Void Ray still going ham. There's the drop on the ramp. Sentry does get the first force field. No, this is so cute. He's trying to keep all the other sentries in so that if anything were to be able to run up, he couldn't try to snipe the sentries. The Oracle kind of done its job already as it dies. And with this ramp cut off, like, what are you supposed to do? He's only building 3 roaches in his main base. He's not going to have too many units to help fight against this.
Yeah, there's lots of lava in the main base, but it's not being used at all right now. All the lava, it's like 5 or 6 of them not being transformed into units so far. And as you mentioned, the units from the natural have no way to ever get up this ramp again, unless Catz is miscontrolling his sentries. The Warp Prism is getting very low, though.
That Warp Prism is a really nice pickoff.
But it's still 3.
It's still too. There's still not
5,
enough. He has to. He can just keep force fielding that ramp forever.
Yeah. The drones are trying to get the sentries.
This isn't bad.
That was a good surround.
Yeah, he forced out all the. He did force out all the force fields.
Too bad he lost all his drones. 17 drones for 4 sentries doesn't sound too good to me. I mean, killing sentries is always very nice, but if you lose your whole economy for that, it's not going to be worth it. And what does Catz have at home?
Void Rays and Immortals.
Yeah.
These are units that deal very well with the units that Oldmansum has. Roaches are not terribly good against Immortal Void Ray.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very beefy composition for Catz at home. He does have the Mothership Core still with 200 energy, so he could throw down 1 Time Warp in the Nexus Cannon, of course. He's adding more gateways, so I assume he's going for the kill. Yeah, he's moving out right now. He doesn't have a single sentry, so force fields are not available, but he most likely won't need them because roach speed is not finished, and we see the roaches like walking in one by one.
Yeah, these roaches just die so fast. GG is called. Catz takes game number 1.
Such a beast.
Yeah, look at Catz and his Protoss.
That Protoss skills.
Yeah, you know, with the 10 gate opening for the fast Zealot Mothership Core Stalker Rush is something that I mostly see Protoss players use against Terran, sometimes for fast 3-gate builds against Protoss, but rarely against Zerg. And I'd say he bought himself a nice position out of it. The only thing that makes me feel like it wasn't like he didn't get a huge lead out of it was how he expanded.
The idea behind this for Catz was putting the Zerg under pressure like every 2 minutes or something. So first, Zealot Stalker Mothership Core, like 1 minute later the Oracle arrived, then the Void Ray, then the Warp Prism. Like he kept harassing and attacking the Zerg, forcing mistakes, and eventually he got into a perfect position with the force field on the ramp, because the Zerg was busy defending against the Oracle and Void Ray. And once you get the force field on the ramp like this, and there are no units built in the main base of the Zerg, you just kill everything. You kill all drones, you kill the lair, or the hatchery, whatever is there, and from there on it was almost impossible to lose for Catz. So yeah, with a slightly better defense at one of these waves, either the Oracle or maybe the Zealot Stalker Mothership Core, I think the Zerg would have had a decent shot to actually be in a alright position for the game.
Yeah. It's so tricky because you also have to go into the game with the mindset of I have to be prepared for anything. Catz is playing random right now. If you're just tuning in, Catz decided, hey, I want to play random. You know, I'm definitely a very strong favorite against my Diamond League opponent, and you know, it's not to say anything bad about Oldmansum, but Catz is pretty good at the game of StarCraft too.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah. Korean letter GM. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm serious. Like, he's a pretty good player.
Say, from you're in a much better position to judge players than me. You're actually pretty good at the game too.
He got Terran, so I really hope that this is his worst race, because I really want to see the Zerg having a good chance against him and probably forcing Catz to pick his main race for the final match.
That would make things interesting for sure. He's our red Terran player in the Northeast, representing Root Gaming. He is Catz. And guess what? Catz is building his first supply depot, 9 supply. He is very familiar with how Terran infrastructure works. His opponent in the bottom left, the blue Zerg player, he is Oldmansum. Now, Catz hasn't sent out any SCVs. Of course, you think he just realized, like, actually, supply depot build it at 10 because you can't afford a barracks. So he's just gonna go back to mining. But this drone scout.
So he isn't that familiar with the Terran builds, or?
Well, I mean, you play Protoss, and if you like play Zerg, you like, oh, build my overload at 9.
Yeah.
Then you play Protoss, like, okay, build my pylon at 9. Then he builds a supply depot at 9. He's like, actually, I can't afford to build a barracks. So
the SCV had to idle a little bit, not optimized, but we can judge. I mean, he's playing off race, and Oldmansum once again going for the drone scout. I really like that because now he knows it's Terran. He saw barracks and gas taken, so he knows the Reaper is coming, most likely followed up by a factory with Hellions. So, and I guess as a Zerg player, you're rather comfortable against Terran because most of the Terran build orders are very like straightforward. You know exactly what's coming, like Reaper into Hellion, maybe with a Banshee, and then you just have a very normal game against either mech or bio. Most likely it's going to be bio. And for the Zerg, they know what to do, while against Protoss, it can be way more tricky.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And the hatch first is also just a very good standard opening against Terran. I like this poll. What's your favorite way to practice? Customs versus the AI, laddering, or you might just be that guy's like, what is practice?
What is practice?
That option is
that's all the
Protoss.
That's all the Protoss.
Reserved for the,
like, what?
for the Protoss and Stefano.
Yeah, I would recommend ladder and customs. Both are very important. Ladder just overall to get some shape, and then
Also,
the custom.
you don't practice versus the AI to prepare for your WCS matches?
No, I don't. But sometimes I start a game without any opponent, just to test the build order, if I'm able to do the build order exactly what how I saw
That's
it.
a good way to run through a build without
Yeah.
having to stress about your opponent, and that can help you just nail down what time you want to have certain things done.
Yeah, like I pause at minute 8 or something to see if I have exactly the same amount of units. But let's focus on this game again, because there is a bunker going up at the natural of the Zerg. And there will be only a single Reaper, so I don't think it's a big threat, right?
I mean, the problem is he's going to need to build about 8 to 10 lings and bring his queens and maybe even the spine to get the bunker out of his base.
Yeah.
I really like this SCV load micro.
Oh, the Reaper got stuck for a second, and it might be okay. It might be almost surrounded there.
Good control on the SCV though. You know, if you right-click a regular unit on a bunker, it'll always run in. But if you right-click an SCV on it and it's not at full health, it'll repair it instead of going inside. So it's very easy to lose your worker when you're trying to hide it like this.
And he actually cancelled the spine crawler. I hope that was a right decision, and it looks like it, because Catz is already salvaging the bunker here. Trying to get a little bit more damage with these 2 Reapers, but I don't believe he will get a drone. Maybe 1. Okay, he gets 1 drone. It didn't morph into a spore.
Yeah, he's starting to do a pretty reasonable amount of damage.
Yeah.
He has a 3rd Reaper about to finish up, join these guys. I love just being ever tenacious with these Reapers, because he's going for double command center back home.
What is this?
Wait, what? Oh.
We see a factory?
I was like, factory's really standard when I look at the production tab. Then I realized where the factory is.
Is there
and
an
a starport.
Oh god.
Well,
Catz, what are you doing? And why is there no overlord? I feel so sorry for the Zerg. Like, Oldmansum is completely blind here. He does have overlords across the map, so he saw the 3rd CC. But there are 2 proxy buildings right next to his base.
That 3rd CC tells a very deceiving story. You have a factory and a starport actually right next to your mineral line.
Oh no.
And with these Reapers, man, as long as these Reapers continue to harass, dealing with those Widow Mines, he just called down a mule.
He called down a mule. What is this? Oops.
I'm not
and the Widow Mine might be dead before it can burrow.
Yeah, that's not gonna be able to burrow.
Good control there by Oldmansum with the Zergling and the 3 queens. Really good positioning, so nothing got in. The
Late
Reapers are
Zergling speed will make dealing with the Reapers in his main a bit more difficult, though. He's killing more and more drones.
Just a little bit sloppy with the queen control in the main base. wasn't really fighting against the Reapers for a while. What? And the Mule is...
What is the Mule doing?
The Mule is still there, like right next to the Hellion.
You could have gone home, buddy. It's okay.
Could at least steal some minerals from the Zerg.
Yeah.
Reapers are dead by now, so Catz lost all of his map control, and he doesn't have Hellions besides the one Hellion from the proxy factory. But yeah, he does have 3 CCs at home, right? And he's getting more and more infrastructure at home as well. 4 more barracks, 3 more barracks, so it's going to be 4 overall. And not looking too bad for him, even though he opened up very weird, in a very weird way.
Yep. Oh, this medevac's gonna try to Widow Mine by the mineral line of the natural. Thankfully, that spore's almost done, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Oh.
Widow Mines don't kill queens, not with 1 shot at least. I still love this hatchery he's just building here during all this.
Yeah, it's like, are you kidding me? I just get my hatchery anyways, and this Widow Mine! Ah.
Oh, wow.
God,
a lot of blink kills on that bad boy.
7 kills. All have been Zerglings.
Not too bad at all. I think the medevac is still alive. There's something in it, but maybe he'll try to move that other Widow Mine over.
Yeah, I think he should load in the Widow Mine. I mean, so far there's no detection. The spores are at home, and he doesn't have a lair for an Overseer yet, so the Widow Mine probably gets another shot off. This Queen is in range, and it actually will it die too? Oh, it's not in range. It's just barely out of it.
Oh well, some poor drone will die.
We'll get a drone. Yeah.
I think that Widow Mine's already paid for itself. He's done a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
He'll probably die soon, but he did a good job.
So Catz is flying home with his buildings.
I mean, it's usually not the two... Like, when you think of 2 production structures flying home for a Terran against the Zerg, you think of barracks, not this.
Yeah. Which means that his medevacs are rather late, besides the one he already built. We have the 10-minute mark right now, and the starport is still flying around. It doesn't have a reactor yet. Maybe he will swap one of the barracks with the starport. Finally, the Widow Mine is about to die. Still got another shot, but it didn't kill anything. Baneling Nest on the way. That looks very solid so far from the Zerg. Gets a macro hatchery, +2 for his Zerglings are on the way. Does he have 1-1? Yeah, it's 1-1 already, so...
Yeah, the upgrades are actually looking pretty damn good for Oldmansum.
1-1 against 0-0.
He really didn't let this opener slow him down, I think, as much as Catz was hoping to. Like, he's saturating his 3rd base now as well. Catz has not yet taken his 3rd. He's now moving his command center out, but with those upgrades, you don't really want to fight versus versus a Zerg that has an upgrade advantage.
That's true, and Catz is getting the 3rd base, which is located in the middle of the map, which is basically the path where you push towards the Zerg. I'm not really sure if that's going to be good, especially if he's behind in upgrades, because if there's a run-by, he could take a lot of damage, either in his natural or his 3rd base. So far he has only Marines, no Widow Mines, because the factory was flying. And yeah, we do see the 3rd base has to be lifted off. Good counterattack here with the Zerglings.
Yeah.
Got a Mule and an SCV.
Oldmansum is like, man, you are not going to mess around with me. Yeah. And we are just learning that Terran does not seem to be... Not Catz's strongest race, but at least we've gotten a very interesting game out of it so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's not out of yet, right? He does have a lot of Marines. They do have Stimpack. Yeah. It's only 1 medevac, though.
I mean, we're about to find out how good Catz can split, how well Catz can split Marines.
Oh, no, the Banelings are morphing right next to the Marines.
Oh,
no.
This is not good. Even with that upgrade advantage, Sim Marines are still very powerful units. He's going to continue to move forward. If these Banelings, like, he only needs 1 or 2 to connect because there's no combat shield.
That's... Oh, no.
This is a tough spot. Tough spot to be in. Oldmansum, his Baneling speed's about to finish up, but if you don't have Banelings, Marines are still really good.
He actually does have a few still, and he's morphing in a few more. If Catz combat shield is not finished yet, if the Baneling's moving in right now, they can do a lot of damage.
Oh, Catz trying to split. Oh, wow. That was some pretty sweet footwork from Catz.
That was good split, yeah, indeed. He only has 1 medevac, guys, so keep in mind, if he gets surrounded, all the Marines will die.
Couple Marines get left. Okay. Picks up 8 of them. And Catz is going to continue trying to play ball here. Now his 1-1's about to complete, but +2 attack is also finishing for the Zerg. These Zerglings and Banelings are going to have a lot of extra firepower. But at least the Marines will kill them faster.
The medevac is getting intercepted by 3 queens, so will die for free here.
That is a no-fly zone.
Oldmansum is going for a counterattack, and I think he has a very good chance at getting into the natural of the Terran, because there are only like 8 Marines against 10 Banelings.
No, he's killing a whole army of Catz. He's making his way back over to the natural. These Banelings, are they going to try to break the supply depot?
That's maybe a little bit over-eager. Morphing the Banelings right in front of the bunker and the Terran infrastructure, but we will find out if they finish. They actually finish, but he should retreat for a little bit. Maybe spread his creep a little bit more. He does have a lot of active tumors, so if he really wants to, he could spread his creep and then go for another attack here.
Catz desperately needs that third base, though. Like, the mules are not doing any favors for him anymore. They're simply reducing the amount of economy that he has.
Oh no, you don't want to move in your...
the Banelings, he breaks one depot open. But he doesn't have enough to flood in yet.
You don't want to run in there. There are Widow Mines. Perfect position. Look at this Widow Mine. It's,
how did that not...
Oh wow.
Wow, he killed the Overseer. That's not what I was expecting. He's even going to kill one of the barracks. Here come the Zerglings, but there's no more Baneling support. Widow Mine takes out a decent chunk of them. There's so many bunkers. Here come the Banelings. Catz blows everything up. Not all of his Widow Mines are burrows, so the Banelings should be able to kill those too. Does he have enough? Oldmansum's taking a 20 supply lead.
Their CVs are running for their lives. 5 Banelings are following them. Oh my god.
Blocking their way out, and Catz loses all the workers in his natural expansion. He has a 4th command center, man. Crazy.
There's a 4th command center, yeah.
Well,
and he still has 1,200 minerals, so he can still produce a lot of Marines, but...
Did he, like, learn Terran watching me play? 50 links on the production tab for Oldmansum. He's got quite a few forces out on the map, and with those 2-2 upgrades, Catz, I don't even know if he has an armory.
2 Zerglings against 1 Marines and Banelings. Only the Mutalisk, how's it called, the Spire is missing. That's the only thing I would love to see right now, that he can add a few more Mutalisk into the mix. And
I mean, the Widow Mines are getting some decent shots because of how clumped everything is, but at this point, Catz,
they have CVs.
I mean, it's becoming a numbers game, and the money for Oldmansum. Catz, he had a nice bank, but he has burned through it very quickly.
Yeah, now you're Mena Mule again. Like 10 mules in the natural.
It's like, oh, gee, oh goodness. Marines are good, Hosrobs. I don't know if they're this good.
I tell you, they are not. Getting crushed once again. Zerg OP, GG, Catz calls GG, Oldmansum ties the series 1-1.
Suddenly, Catz finds himself on the verge of dropping his first series in the tournament.
So, you think you will play random on the 3rd map, or will he pick Zerg now?
Oh man, I have no idea. I mean, at this point, you got to say take the game serious. I mean, I still think that he could have played the Terran more seriously, and then maybe had an advantage through his mechanics. But I
mean, Catz is the favorite in his group. There's Oldmansum, DHQK, and Sad Zalen. So
he's a super favorite in this group.
Yeah, so Catz is definitely the favorite in his group. So maybe he's going for random again, but I don't know. I mean, if you like, he's probably planning on advancing either as 1st or 2nd. But I think you really want to be 1st place, because then you're dodging one of the Koreans in the next round, because they are getting 1st.
Yeah, you're not going to play against another 1st place finisher. Yeah. If you get 2nd. Unless he's like got some sort of weird plan where he's trying to snipe one of the Koreans, and even then, I don't know if that's a good idea.
We will find out in a few seconds if he's going for random once again, or.
Oh come on, he has got to.
Looks like he's playing Zerg.
Yeah, he's gonna pick Zerg. It's like, yep, not playtime is over. As Catz realizes that, yes, he actually does want to advance 1st out of his group.
Yeah, it's smart, I'd say. But as I mentioned earlier, I mean, in ZVZ also strange stuff can happen. And Oldmansum, like the last map, looked rather solid by him. He got his upgrades in time, Zergling, Baneling aggression. He defended very nicely against all the tricky stuff that Catz was doing. The only thing that was missing was the Spire, I believe. There was no infestation bit, no Spire, so he didn't have a 2nd tech route.
I think that's what allowed him to get all those upgrades out, though, too. Like, when you're trying to get upgrades and Banelings, the amount of gas he spent on Banelings is, I mean, pretty damn high. You're not going to be able to afford Mutalisks while you're doing that.
Yeah. So we have a ZVZ on merry-go-round, and yeah, really looking forward to see how Catz is going to play this one out.
Yep, should be a cool match, of course. Our first player in the top left position just tied the series up 1-1 against his opponent's Terran. Now he has to play him in his mirror. He is Oldmansum. It's got to feel good, man. You come to a tournament like this, say, hey, took a map off of Catz. Someone will be like, was he off racing? It's like, took a map off Catz. That's all, you know, the details, people always forget the details, but they will remember the results. That's for sure.
That's true, yeah. Only the results matter, everything else.
And this guy will probably get teased about that game for a while. In the bottom position, playing as blue, from Root Gaming, he is Catz.
Yeah, so Oldmansum had the chance to play against Catz Terran, against Catz Protoss, and now his Zerg. So he got all the races at least once. And looking forward to hear him what he's saying after the best of 3. What is the strongest Catz? Like, which race did he fear the most? And Catz is going for a gas first, followed by a pool. So
yeah, he went.
This is a very, very aggressive opening.
13 gas, 12 pool. This is. Yeah, these are the kind of builds that remind me. I used to watch players like Lowly. You know, it's like these like weirdly aggressive, but not. It's not quite your 10 pool Baneling.
Yeah.
But it could still have just as much impact because you can have a few more lings out with those earlier drones.
Yeah, this looks like a Starbuck build. He loves to do things like that as well. Very early speed, trying to deny the hatchery, maybe forcing a lot of units while you're getting your own hatchery. You don't have to commit to it, as far as I know. And especially if you are able to deny the hatchery, the natural, then you're in a decent position. So I wonder how this actually works out for Catz,
because... Is he gonna keep mining gas? It looks like it. So speed's on the way. Maybe we get a Baneling nest.
Still 3 drones and gas.
I mean, if he wanted to expand, I imagine he would have taken the drones off by now so he could get additional mineral income.
Definitely. And there's the Baneling nest.
Yeah, Catz is pretty much saying, I think, with this, he's like, okay.
So Catz cheesed as a Protoss, he's cheesing as a Terran. Now he's cheesing as a Zerg as well. Oh god. And the overlords of Oldmansum actually missing the Zerglings, so he has no idea what's coming here. He will find out about the Zerglings at his natural ramp, most likely, and that's very late. Because he's building drones right now. Queen and a drone. So the next inject has to be completely in Zerglings.
Yeah, I agree. He needs as many forces out as possible. These Zerglings are coming over to the natural. He will see a few more of the lings leaving with his own Zergling. Oh, he wants her to catch this queen.
Oh
like,
no!
Hey, you left your throne of creep, girl,
oh, no.
and he is gonna completely surround it. Even trying to save one Zergling. Drones coming off the lines to fight, and I think that's gonna trigger Catz to press that E button on them Zerglings and make them into Banes.
Yeah, he wanted to save the drones. He wanted to save the queen with the drones, but it was just too late. And now, as you said, the Banelings are on the way. There's no. He spotted it with the Zerglings. Okay, so he knows Banelings are coming. Speed is ready as well, so these Zerglings going to die for free.
Yep. This is really frustrating because he needs everything possible to defend against the Banelings that are going to come in, which, I mean, they're great versus Zerglings, great versus any defensively pulled drones. Oh, he's so close to picking off a ton of Zerglings with these Banelings.
First connection did hit. The spine caller has been cancelled, and Catz looks in a very good position. Oh, one Baneling for only one Zergling there. The Baneling, it's not worth it to go into the drones because you cannot kill the drones directly, so you really want to save this Baneling for the Zerglings.
Yeah, if you can force those drones to clump up, that's the ideal scenario, but...
Oh, right now they're clumping up!
Oh! Softens up a lot of them, and these Zerglings can just finish them off very easily. Oldmansum, he gets to feel the wrath of Catz's aggressive play in every matchup. As Catz was a favorite, but definitely out for blood after losing his Terran. Catz will take the series 2-1, but you know what? I bet there's a lot of people that said, I don't know who Oldmansum is, this should be another quick 2-0. Not the case.
Yeah, but they didn't expect Catz to play random either,
that is also true.
That's a good excuse for him, and we did see the ZVZ right now was very dominating. I mean, the build order was very aggressive, and if your opponent doesn't play completely precise, then you might just die to this Speedling Baneling attack, and that's exactly what happened, right?
Yeah.
The Queen was out of position, and from there on, there was almost no way of coming back again.
Yeah, there's some just really difficult strategies to deal with when you're up against someone that can be so unpredictable as Catz.